Hello, and welcome to our fifth lesson on our PE design software. Today we're going to cover our editing of our designs, and we're going to get into very detailed parts of editing our designs. We're going to create cross-stitch embroidery, and also we're going to create customized thread charts. Okay? Now today we're going to start out with I've already imported our design for today. Size of roses. Size is for 8x7 hoop. So we're going to start off with cross stitch. We're going to go here to our magic wand. We're going to go to our cross stitch at the bottom here. We're going to click next. Now here we have our cross stitch attributes. You can have your cross-stitch size as a 0.10. You can go up or you can go down. We're going to leave it at our default setting at 0.10. You can stitch it a single time, a double time, or a triple time. I recommend a double time. And the thread chart we're going to use is going to be our breaded thread chart. Now, right now, my attributes are telling me that there are going to be 8 colors as a max. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 colors in my design, so we will click next. And now our software is running, so now we are ready. We will click finish. This is a very easy process to do. Okay, so we are running. If we click our realistic preview, it gives us our cross-stitch embroidery. So let's clear again, go back, let's test stitch our design. It's telling us that there are 11,692 stitches. So if we click our play button, it is actually going to cross stitch and stitch out everything here as it would on our machines. Let's stop for a moment. Let me remove the picture from the back. Okay. In order to clip art without deleting your embroidery, you would right click, do modify. Modify only affects your clip art, and you hit your delete button. Now we have our cross stitch, so we click our realistic preview. There it is. So now when we do our stitch simulator, it stitches out our cross stitch for us. And there we have, you can advance the color here and here again. Okay. So we can undo. Now we're going to import our image again, which will be our flower, our list. These are all brother clip arts, which we're going to do open. We're going to resize it again to fit. Now, again, always remember your design must fit within your craft. So we're just here. And we're actually going to digitize this. And we're going to digitize it using our basic digitizing methods that we learned in basic digitizing and intro. We're going to go here to our outline. We're going to select our straight line. We're going to click to a closed path, change our fill color, change to brother. Okay, so we have a Z outline and we have our red fill. We're going to zoom in here and we're going to straight line and we're going to digitize. What I'm doing is following the outline of my rose, and this is going to fill in our red part. Now, there are 2 ways to do our digitizing. Always remember to leave a space. Right now, we have a realistic preview, and we see that we have an outline as part of our rose. Well, let's undo this, and we're going to start over, because I'm going to get rid of our zigzag. I'm going to teach you how to input your outline after you do your fill stitch. And again, this will add your outline. This will take away your outline. This will add your fill. That will take away your fill. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our red fill first. And this is our intro to editing. So we are going to now add our red fill. Okay, so we have fill. Now I want to create my black outline. So I'll get control of my select object. Click here for my black. Click here, go up to my attribute. And I will go back to the default. Click apply, close. Now, go back to my outline straight line. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because I want to actually get to this as possible. Now I'm going to start outlining my design. And I'm going to make some flaws so that we can fix and edit. Have you ever purchased embroidery in their sign? Well, this is where your gaps come in. Because if all of it laid on top of each other or slightly overlap, you could have gaps in your design, which they may look okay on screen. Stitched out, you'll be able to see the difference. So we're almost done here. Okay. So now I have my outline. Zoom to one. And we'll go now, if I zoom in, you can start to see the gaps in my outline. So let's go back here. Now, because we did notice that there were some errors. So, and instead of me redoing this entire outline again, we're going to select our outline. I'm going to Showing Order. We're going to select our, click Cancel. And it should highlight our black point. There's one. There's one over here. There should be some on top. So now we're going to go to our Edit Point. And we're going to click our first one. Now, what happened is any points that I clicked on my design. So now I can take my edit points, click one, and drag, and slowly move my edit point over my embroidery design. Because now I am overlapping slightly so that all of my stitches. So now I'm through and I am just editing the note a little bit more. So here, edit it here, here. And this will actually save you time when you have a little part of your design to edit and you don't want to read the whole design. And also, if you notice that right here there's a gap and you need it to curve, you can actually click there and add more, and then you can edit that. So with edit point to go in to edit your points, and here I can say, okay, well I need more stitches here, so I can add another one there, and then I can slowly move them and critique them to go. And one here. There's a big enough gap that I need it to curve, so I can add one here, and then I can slowly move it up and create the effect that I want. So, in thing, you have the ability to add stitches without having to go back in and edit your entire that up some. Add another stitch here, move it forward, move that up, add a stitch here, slide. And once you get comfortable doing this, it's by really fast. I'll add one there because there's a gap. Put that over. To there. Now I've done all of my editing. Now let's go back and do a one preview. and I love it. It looks pretty good. Remember when we zoomed in the first time? I no longer have gaps along because I was able to edit them without redoing my entire design. Now we say, well, what about the detail here? This is where we go back to our closed path to an open path, because all we do is slowly add a little bit of detail to our rows in here. Data. And add a little bit more detail. Now, also, something that you need, the more of a curve gets on. So if I wanted to create a curve here, sorry, go back. Actually, go back here. If I wanted to create this more of a deeper curve, I would just make my clicks a little bit closer and a little bit more as I go. And it will give me a more defined. And notice the two digitizers are going to put the points in the exact same spot, which makes your digitize unique to you. And that's how you can tell your artwork or your work from another embroiderer, is if you do your points, then you can tell. But now I'll show you. So if I go here and I select here, go here and edit point. There we go. All of these points are these are special to me because I created them. If you digitize the exact same artwork, your points are not going to be in the exact same place. Exact same place. So let's zoom, click, and we have our. What we're going to do is we are going to create our orange rows. And again, we need to zoom in onto this. Now, we have an outline partially. So what we've got to do is we've got to create another outline, which would be with our open path. But before we do that, we've got to go change the closed path. That's our outline. Open up our fill stitch. We're going to change her to a pumpkin. Click OK. Then quickly outline the orange part here. Create your orange rows. And in our previous lessons, I always remember to leave a gap between your first and your last stitch. Now I have my orange rows. Now I want to add lines, so I will close off my fill, open up my outline, change from closed path to open path. Now I can outline my orange. If you've noticed, my black outline is not as thick line on these pictures, but we're going to go in and we're going to edit that. And we'll get with a few clicks of the button. So I've got rows. Now I'm going to go in here and add the detail. Here we go. Okay, so I know I've added that detail. Well, now it's time to add my stems here. And with any embroidery, you want to slightly overlap just a little bit to close up your gap. So I now add up here, come back up here, do the same thing. Now I have an advantage here with my green because it's all separate. Let's see, make sure. Yes. So, go back to my closed path, open my fill stitch, select my color, which would be, let's do a leaf green, click OK. And now we will start to outline. There's one. And we'll go first. Start here. Now we're coming upon that curve. So the more stitches the more points I put in, the deeper curve I'll have. And then as we begin to straighten out, I can make my points. And there it goes. So again, we'll come here. I can go from here to here to here. Add a couple of points to add a curve. Go up. Here. There you go. And come up to here. And now here's a straight part, so I can just kind of zoom down as I'm, instead of having so many points to get together. And double click. Okay. So now if I look at this, I've completed my little gap there. That's where we're going to start our editing. Okay. So first, we've got an order. So we have our sewing. We have green, black, black, orange, black. So I can go in, see this is green, I can slide these over, and I can group my green here. Now I'm going to select my black here, click cancel. Oh no, I just did that wrong. Let's do sewing order. I forgot to click OK. We're going to group all of our black leaves together. And we click OK. Go back in again. Click sewing order. Click our leaves. Now we click cancel. Go to our sewing attribute. And we have at 0.08, which is our default setting. So we're going to take it up to 0.13. We'll click apply. And it adds a sticker. Click OK. Now we go back to our sewing order. And I know that I have black here, black here. I have my red, and I have my orange. And I want to group as much as possible because I want as few color changes as possible. But let's click here. We're going to click OK. And it's hide area. We're going to go down and we're going to up to 13 as well. We click apply and close. Now, when we look at our rail, we no longer have orange with our black. So, we have now completed our rows. We have edited the size of our outline by simply going to selecting our color, which is our black. We can cancel, go to our sewing view, and we can either increase it again or we can decrease to 10 because we're editing just our outline. We click apply, and again it has just our outline. Click close to apply our changes. Now, we're going to we've covered our cross stitch, and we've covered on how to edit a design using our points. So let's clear. I'm going to save. What we're going to do is we are going to create our customized thread charts. And because a lot of times we don't buy the same brand of thread. So, and this will make it a lot easier to create your designs. We're going to do edit, user thread chart. And here, this is my chart. This down here is your brother country, your version 4 option colors, and you may have another version on yours. We have the flesh tones, the sulky, Madeira, rayon, polyneon, the Robinson Anton rayon, Robinson Anton polyester, the isocord, and the gussamin. Now, we're going to create a new thread chart. You can put the name of your thread chart here is Tester. Let's cancel. Start over. Click New Thread Chart. Type in your name. We click OK. And it automatically gives you two default colors, your black and your white. Now, if you have your brother thread colors, you can go here and select all the colors that you have in your collection, and you do them one by one. So I have a salmon pink. I'll click my blue arrow, and it uploads my color here. I'll choose my deep gold, blue arrow, upload there. Well, I have some brother country colors, and I know that they're almost the same, but they're slightly different. So I can take my lime green here, upload it there. Let's see, I have some rayons, and what you do is you go through here one by one, and you select the colors that you have in your chart, and you upload. Now, once you've uploaded your colors, let's upload a couple more. Madeira, go here, upload. I'm going to show you the great thing about the software. Okay, so now I know that I have my Madeira 1015 rayon, but it doesn't tell me a color like my salmon pink, my deep gold, my lime green. So I can edit my item. It's my Madeira rayon, and I can type in what I want to call it, my blush pink. And I notice that that's not the exact same color as my spool of thread. So I can go here to mix, and I know that here's the base color, but in here are some default colors. But for some reason my color falls a little bit lighter. If I click in here, I can slowly, if you watch your shade box, I can take it down to a darker color, or I can take it up to a lighter color. And I can click OK. That's about the color of my thread, so yes, I want to edit that and change it to the color. So, and here, I'm going to go to my Robinson Anton polyester. Well, they have their color names here. Let's find one that doesn't have color names. I think isocord doesn't either. No. So we'll go down to our isocord. Now, some of these colors are a lot darker on screen than they are in person. So let's take my dark brown here. We're going to import it here. And I'm going to edit this color. I'm going to do Edit Item. And that is a really, really dark brown. So I want to call it chocolate. We click OK, Mix. I know that that's a really dark color, so I can start lightening my color here until I reach the color that it's close to. Now, what I've done is I've started off with the base color that was given to me. But I'm thinking that's still not close to. By clicking on these, I'm still not achieving the color of the spool of thread that I have. So I can select one of their base colors, and then I can slowly start to figure out, well, nope, that's not it either. Let's go to their brown. And you can slowly get different shades as you go. And it's just a matter of maneuvering through your colors. You can do it here if you want. These are going to be your base colors. This is where it will start. If I go here, watch my little points here. If I go here, it's going to move here. If I go there, it's going to slide over. What it's doing is it's giving me possible hues for the color I may use. We know greens are some of those trickier ones. So if you note here, this green has a yellow base tone. So if I'm doing my olive or any green that may have a yellow undertone, I know that if I select this one, it's going to blend into my yellows, and I can slowly lighten it up a little. Here we have a gray undertone, so I can go here and find those tones. Here's another one that's kind of a bluish gray. So this is your basic colors, which will lead you to your mixed colors. Click cancel, and we still have brown. So let's go with that as a chocolate. We'll click OK. Click OK. And it doesn't alter your color chart here, but if you notice, the 1055 isochord looks darker, but my 1055 isochord is the color of the thread that I am using to correspond with it. Now, I have the ability to move these up. I can move my colors up. I can delete the chart and start over. I can make it a new item. I can delete the item, and I can move it down. When I am done, I will click OK. Now, when I click here, I'll go in and change my color chart from the standard of going back and forth between this color chart, and this color chart to get my colors, and I can just click on my color chart, and here are all of my colors. And all of these colors will work with your applique as well. We'll click OK. So, let's see. That's how we customize our color charts. So what we're going to do is we are going to create an embroidery design, and we're going to do a start to finish. We are going to edit, and we're going to create a color chart to match. So what we're first going to do is we're going to check our color chart, which is edit user guide color chart. And I know to use my color chart, I'm going to have all the colors that I have. So I can click cancel. I am going to go here to image, input from file. I'm going to do a sum so we can see what we have. We go Canva, click OK. We can enlarge it a little, or we could leave it the size that it is, but we'll enlarge. Now, I know that my sewing attribute settings are already set. Go back to all salt settings. We are going to add 0.01 pull compensation. This is your stitch. We have our run. We have our undersew. We're going to click apply, and we want our outline to be the standard, so we'll click close. For here, I am going to make sure that I have my color chart. We're going to click OK. Now we're going to start digitizing our outline, straight line. Now, we are not going to do our outline with our design, so we're going to close that. We are going to open, and we're going to change our color to here. And I know by just looking at that to be either my deep rose if I want it, or it can be my pink. But we're going to start off with our base color, which is yellow. Click OK. Now, the good thing is, the closer you are to it, the better your design out. So zoom in, see all of your detail. Now, I'm just starting with one. Remember that is in point line. In here, we're going to digitize. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this from start to finish together. And once we're done, I'm going to show you how to set your hole sew for and add circles to other parts. How to do these circles here and these circles. Okay, do this outline. I'm going to zoom out a little. Okay. This is a big design here. Now, I know what I'm doing. I'm basically my yellow stitches. There is no outline with this. It's not going to be much of a curve either. One moment. So to our starting point, click here, and I know I can stop here. That's my starting point. Okay. So now I have my yellow, and I don't need it anymore. So I can select my next color. I'll use a deep rose for. We'll click OK. And I'm going to select it. Now the great thing about embroidery is you can overlap one time on a design and still create really great embroidery without it being what's called armor plated, which is that hard stuff that won't bend or move. So if I wanted to, I could take my circle and I can make a circle and lay it across there. And if I do a realistic preview, there's my yellow with my circle. If I want, I can same thing. I can left click and get my 8 points around. Hold down the control key. Click up inside the yellow. So set Soho. Okay. Now when I look at this, I've just created a hole in the pattern. And I can tell that it's just on a yellow only. Realistic preview, it has a hole. Okay. That's one way to do it. And let's do another one. Make that a little elongated. Click my select edge. Click until my 8 point on my circle. Now I'll go here to my rotate button. One of my 4 squares, slightly turn. Now I have my middle. I can move it over and center it along that design, and I know that it's where I'll be. Now I have my 1 circle, my 2 circle. Well, here's another oval. Instead of doing the same thing, I can left click, hit your 8, right click, okay, and you get the exact same one. You move it down, rotate it to fit your design, move it over, and there's my second. I still have these little half circles here. What am I going to do with them? Well, there's 2 things you can do. One, you can improvise and you can create your own standard. You can do whatever you want. Here, I could cheat by doing the 4. And back here to our outline, and our outline again. And then I'm going to zoom on this area. I want out. My fill is going to be my color. And then just like I just outlined my yellow, I'm going to outline my pink. And now I know that I've got to get a little bit more precise with my artwork because I want it to look just like this when I'm done. Again, leave a small gap and you pause. Now we're down here, we're going to start here. We're going to outline. Again, here. Leave a small gap, double click. See where's some more. There we go. Now, like I said, we're going to do this from start to finish there. Okay. And I don't think this is the last one. Over. And down, double click. Now let's go over. And here we go, 2 more. Now, I'm going to show you how to make sure that you can eliminate stitches as possible, and that's part of your editing. Because we have stitches going everywhere right now, and we're going to clean that up. Okay. So I go in and I do my one-on-one, and I see there's. But if I look at my sewing order, my two, I'm just going to go here, 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 over there. And this is where you learn to master your digitizing. So this is going to be my first one. I can move it here. So it'll go from here to here. Let's move that one there. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So we have to find number 3, which is here. Move that down. We can go here, or we can go here, 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 and then here. And this seems like a better go, so we'll move that one there. And then we're going to go down one, there, over to that one, over to that one, down, nope, out of order still, move it here. Okay, now we've created a design that will go stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, which will eliminate it going from here, 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 over here, down here, back up here, back up here. What you've done is you've just eliminated all those stitches that you hate to cut in an embroidery design. Now, we have our one last part to add, which is our outline. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in, again, because we want to see where our outline is falling. But we also want to make sure that we have blended the ink that we've added. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our line. We're going to do an open path. We're going to open up our zigzag. And we're going to start our outline here. Oh my gosh, I've always said we want to slow overlap a little bit. Now we're going to digitize this design exactly as ours, which is a very wide black outline. That's where I'm going to have to create a design here. So I've closed that one off. We're going to overlap it right there. We're going to come down a little bit. And we're going to keep going. And a little bit more overlap here. Yep. And digitizing, it's fun once you get the hit. So I'm going to come here, go up. Notice I haven't double-clicked yet. And now. Come back here a little bit, and I can go up and double. Here, come back down. Move this one together from beginning to end. And if there are any flaws in it, we can edit it using our point system. Go up. Now, I've noticed I didn't get up here. So I just double click here. I can go here and create this area if I want to. Overlap slightly, and I can come back down. Or I can stop here, and I can continue my work here. Your outline, you're going to have some jump stitches because everything is not going to flow exactly in your outline. But the good thing is software will go in and fix a lot of your jump stitches on your outline. And your machine, depending on which machine you have, will choose the easiest path also to create your outline instead of doing a lot of back and forth. So we're coming around here, have another corner here, slightly overlap even my outline. There we go. And now we're coming around to our front. Now, because this is the outline on an outline on an open path, I can overlap in just a little bit. I'm going to look at. Now, what I've noticed when I zoom in is that there are the gaps right here between the pink and the black. Okay? So we'll go change back to our silver. We're going to select our black color, click Cancel, go to our sewing attribute, and I know I need a wider outline because I do have a very wide outline. Click Apply. I can click Close. The outline is almost the size of the outline of my clip art. Click. There's still some gaps in here. So we're going to edit some of this. We're going to go in and we're going to zoom. So let's see view. I can see those gaps in mine. So I can close, click on my black, click on this side of the black to my edit points. And it gives me my points here. They may be a little bit hard to see, but look for your little squares. And I know if I click, I can move it in some. Here's another one. Move it in some. A little bit more. Another one. Move it in some. Next stage, you have your back button that you can go in and edit with. Let's see, I can add one here. And move that in a little. Okay. Now, let's quarter over. I look here. I notice that there are some gaps here. So, I'm not sure if this is, yep, there are my little points. Take my square here and move it forward. Well, I created this weird angle here, so I can do that one. Move that up a little bit. This one in just a hair or two. Here. I am editing my design, but there are no points here. This is a separate part of mine. Go back to select object on the black. Click my points again, and there they are. So now I want to add one here. I need to move this one forward. One here, move this forward to line it up evenly, and slowly edit my design. Now, I'm doing all of my things on a finished design, having to redo my design. If you test it, you're redigitizing everything, you just edit what you had flaws with. Okay, so I think we fixed everything. Let's zoom out. Let's look at our see, it's showing us our points again. And these points are special to each individual because nobody's going to have the exact same points in the exact same places. So let's go to select object, clear that, do a realistic. There is our candy wrapper. And I know that everything is going to sew out perfectly because I was able to go in, zoom in, and see all of my points, cover up all of my stitches. So, test stitch. Realistic stitch tells me that it's 11,708 stitches and it's only 3 colors. So we click and it's going to stitch out for me. Now let's see if it still has that sew hole that we set earlier. If you want, you can speed it up even more. Now watch when it gets around here. See? And actually sewed the complete hole around it. Going in the pattern that we set for it. And I left one out right there. And now it's doing the outline. And that's our entire design. Move this back. Okay. What we've done is we have now created our design from beginning to end. We've edited, we've created our own custom charts, and you have just completed your first 5 series on your introduction to your PE design software. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact your Southeast Sewing dealer, and we will be more than happy to help answer any questions for you. Also, please visit the website soon where we will be having advanced classes, which will include our applique, our run stitch, and how to create realistic designs like our palm trees, how to do fur. We are also going to introduce to you our shading technique and a couple of other wonderful classes. So please visit sewingmachine.com for an update on our upcoming classes. And our classes will be held based on the registered class sizes. We will have private classes and group classes available. If you have any questions, you can email me at Trenise, Trenise, at sewingmachine.com. And if there are no further questions, or if you have any questions at all, please email me. But please visit the website regularly and look for our upcoming classes. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.